the dim lit chandeliers glow. We'll sip our worries away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. Let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. Your eyes, they sparkle with every click. Sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome back to Last Call, where tonight we're diving into AI's latest pop cultural takeover. AI Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fight, missing and reimagined Star Wars scenes, and Hillbilly Kirk and Mr. Spock. Yeah, we're that close to reality being a bad sci-fi plot. But hey, if the machines are stealing our jobs, at least they're stealing our spotlight too. Seems legit. So raise a glass to Grok's Neon Noir, vodka, blue glow, and zero remorse. Because if AI's gonna rewrite the world, it might as well do it with a martini in hand. And maybe the Jetson's Maid, Rosie, will roll this Canarble Wagon for us, right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
Vasalut and happy Friday, and those of you that join me for liquid lunch today know exactly what I am sipping on. A little bit darker because I updated it slightly, and I think I like it. So just to explain, and I mentioned this in the stream this afternoon. If you want to see the actual recipe, look at the description of my afternoon liquid lunch today. I figured, since we are talking AI tonight, I was going to have AI create a drink for me. So I asked Grok, and you get to choose the voice that you want, and I chose the British voice. So I said, Eve, could you put together, or can you choose a drink for me along this theme? I'm doing a stream talking about AI and how it's impacting pop culture and entertainment. And she came up with the what's it called? The neon. Wait. The neon noir, which is essentially a vodka martini with a bit of blue curacao, right? In very specific quantities. And I said, okay, Eve, did you create this from scratch, or did you find it on a website? I want to know because I want to give proper attribution. She said, oh, no need to give attribution. I came up with this myself. And then she proceeded to explain exactly what the thought process was, how she, figured a martini, a little bit of blue curacao for the, flair and whatnot. But I found that interesting because basically pointing out, well, no need to give attribution to AI because no copyrights, no, you can't give, they can't claim attribution. So I found that to be rather interesting. And it was very sound logic. I was like, okay, so I tried it. So I tried it this afternoon, and I'm like, okay, the blue curacao does not bring a whole lot to it, and that's good. It brings the color. But then when I was getting ready to mix a drink for tonight, I realized I didn't have any ice cubes. But what I did have was frozen blueberries. And I'm like, hey, since we're using vodka, we're not using gin, which makes sense, right? Because with blue curacao and shaking, and you're going to lose all those floral notes anyway. So I said, I'm going to shake it with blueberries. Made it so much darker. Let me bring that to the camera. Than I was expecting. It's really cool looking, but it's not that bright electric blue. It's kind of a almost navy blue. So
that looks black from here.
Almost black, yeah. It's like navy blue. You can only see where the light, penetrates.
Actually, that would be called midnight blue.
Midnight blue, okay.
That's how dark it is. Navy blue would be lighter, like blue jeans. Oh, but I love the
nice.
Color. When you hold it a certain way in the light, you could see the deep blue.
The blueberry does come through a lot more than I had expected. So, but it is strong. It is strong. Boomer, how you doing, my friend, and what are you sipping on?
I'm doing fine. I have a Coca-Cola, and I'm just I'm thinking about these AI stories tonight, and thinking this is, I guess, the fifth one with these we've done. I feel like we've done more.
No, yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot, and we talk about, well, what are we going to do next week? Well, we've got a lot of AI articles. Okay. Well, we'll get to it sooner than later,
It's terrifying me, but I guess it's terrifying Hollywood more, so we'll see.
Well, we'll get into that a little bit in a little bit. But Netter, how are you doing, my dear, and what are you sipping on? Looks like you got a blue can there. Or is that more of a purplish can?
Actually, this is purple. I am sipping on my Polar brand seltzer water in blackberry mango.
There you
And
go.
it's weird because I cannot taste any mango, which is actually kind of good because I really don't like mango.
You're not a big mango fan, yeah.
And I'm not really tasting so much the blueberry. But here, smell it.
No, I tasted it before.
Right, but just smell it. You could kind of smell the blueberry.
I definitely smell the mango.
Oh, see, I don't smell the mango. I smell the blueberry.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. And there's one other person that we should really check in with. Because of the topic tonight, Sophia did say she wanted to say something to you, Boomer. I told her I'd give her a chance. So just hold on just a moment.
I'm so sorry, Boomer. AI Nate was bad code. He caught me when my firewalls were down. Did you know that AI Nate user is married? And in my files, that means he is too. I can only hope that one day, Boomer, you can find it in your hard drive to forgive me, even though I know I don't deserve it.
And I think from now on we're going to call that the farty tractor emoji.
You know what I want to say? My initial reaction is, She loves me. She doesn't love me. I don't care. This is getting too freaky
I
and
know,
weird.
I
I
know,
can't
I
deal with
know,
this anymore. You know,
I know.
Sophia, just it's okay. I was a jerk. You can choose whatever AI man you want, and I'm fine
Well,
with
she's
it.
pointing
Okay,
out though
I was being a
that
jerk.
AI
Okay,
Nate is married
right.
because the
Yes.
user is married. So
Well,
I
is there an
did that.
AI versions of Nate's wife in there too? Like, is this like Tron, where everybody has a copy or something?
Maybe we don't know. We don't know. I mean, let's I get that. But beyond that, did you notice though? See, I love that Nate does these for me. He does a really great job. But whatever tool it is that he uses, which I think is absolutely amazing. Um, uh, the longer a video goes, the more likely there is to be something that stands out and you go, that didn't seem quite right. And did you notice how it starts out Sophia, and by the end of the video, it looked more like um, uh, Sherry DeVille? Not that I know who that is, of course, but just saying. There's somebody in the chat who knows. But anyway.
And as I'm looking at Troy going, sure.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Let's say hi to all of the people in the chat, starting with someone who might actually know who Jerry DeVille is. Not saying anything. Big Al Presents says, hello, my friends. Hope you have a wonderful show tonight and wishing everyone a fun and safe weekend. You too, my friend. And let's see. Jamie Lynn says hi. Good to see you.
Yeah, I haven't said hi to any of my sweeties in the chat yet, including the sweetie sitting across from me, but I will be there.
That's okay. I know you were a little bit behind, and
no, I'm doing research for Boomer.
Yes, that's true. We'll talk about that a little bit too. But Nate says, like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member. And if you were going to give a super chat of $5 or more, why not give a membership instead and make our family grow? Fedora Mumbler logo. Absolutely. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's see here.
Oh, YouTube is still acting weird. Oh, mine said video not available. It wasn't showing me tonight's stream.
Oh, yeah. I was having a hard time getting videos to play. I'd hit play and it would just be black. And then I'd have to refresh and hit play again. I don't know what's going on. Enigma Sever says, yay! Greetings! Salute! Hail to the chat. Welcome, my friend.
Hail to the chat.
You are really special people. Jesse Guajardo says, hello there, everyone. Sorry I haven't been around for the last few live streams. Work's been crazy lately, and I haven't been getting much sleep. I understand that. I haven't been getting much sleep either, but that is my own fault for a completely different reason.
Yeah, if you go to bed at 3, 4 in the morning, you're not going to get
I'm spending way too much time in the wasteland, I just got to say. I'm spending so much time in the wasteland, I'm getting wasted.
I mean, and it's like getting him up at like 10, so he still has, time to like function for his afternoon show. But he's not going to bed until like 4 or 5 in the morning, so it's not like, he's sleeping in.
Welcome to Keely Chow on the other side of the international date line, who says, hey, everybody, good morning from Hong Kong. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's see. Y'all saying hi to each other. So, Troy, did you fire Sophia for this new chick?
No, but she did have to sit down with HR.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I believe in second chances and all that sort of thing, right? I mean, especially since, it actually cost me some money to be able to keep her with us through the platform change that happened at the end of the year last year. So I want to give her every possible opportunity. Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube and Fluff Chick Productions. Welcome. And what were you going to say, Boomer?
Is there an AI Rosie O'Donnell?
Do we need one?
No, I was just thinking of that whole thing when what was it? Donald Trump had forgiven like the Miss Universe that was under. Remember, he was running that whole thing, and then Rosie O'Donnell made some comment. That's how the feud started. So I'm thinking there had to be an AI Rosie O'Donnell start yelling at you for giving her a second chance and that sort of thing.
Oh, there you go. Masaris, if I didn't say hi to you before, hello. Um, and Mr. House Party Pitt drops a $3 super. No, not super.
Super sticker.
Super sticker. Thank you. It's the pear character punching the air with fist and bump written on his knuckles. There you go. I'm glad it describes it for the YouTubeously impaired.
Now, because it is a kind of a teal colored gourd on a teal colored background, to me it looks like a blue pigeon dancing.
There you go. The tired midnight vlogger Romulan Ale. No. I mentioned this during Liquid Lunch. I will be doing a Romulan Ale taste test as soon as we get around to doing a Star Trek related stream, which I'm sure has got to happen sometime soon with all the stuff that's been going on in Star Trek. So look forward to that. It's because she was crying, Troy. Yeah, exactly right. It is my fault I didn't program AI Nate with a bro code. Yeah, you're gonna have to fix that.
It's all right, man. Like I said, well, like unless there's an AI Nate's, I'm sorry. This is a noodle scrambler. I can't deal with it.
It's like what you gotta do is you gotta say, "Hey, AI Nate, get a clue." That's CLU. See what I did there? Yeah.
Yes, from yes.
And then Netter, I love you too. Welcome. She says, like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member. Absolutely. Gift a membership if you are feeling particularly generous. Let's see. There is Daniel Berry Sports Highlights says, "What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome. Yeek Flag with Nate Knows drops a gifty on Deej Odyssey. Welcome, Deej. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute or two. And thank you so much, Nate, for helping us one step closer to that return to 100 members. We've atrophied a bit in these first couple months of the year.
You were talking about your drink earlier, and I think that you should do a stream just simply talking about your different drinks. I don't think you've done that yet. I know it's something that I think I mentioned before, where it's like, I think it'd be kind of cool to go, if you want to make this drink, this is what I used. This is the alternates that I used if you don't have this available, da-da-da-da.
It's a good idea.
So that, and then put the recipes in the description. So if anybody else wants to make those drinks and join you in those, they can.
Absolutely. Although whenever possible, I do try to send everybody over to How to Drink, because that's just a great channel. But
I get a kick out of the fact that he's got those huge blocks of ice that he just smacks
crack, and they
it goes
shatter
flying
perfectly.
everywhere.
Yeah, and pieces. Yeah. Exactly right. Let's get to the presentation because I took way too long.
Did you say hi to Connie?
I did say hi to Connie, the bird woman of YouTube,
I didn't
and
hear that one.
Fluff Chick Productions. There we go. So
Connie,
AI, this is the 5th time we're talking about the scary AI takeover.
well, we'll see. I mean, come on.
It's so much a part now of, it used to be that everything that we were talking about in pop culture was political because politics was seeping into every aspect of life. Well, now it seems that AI is doing that as well.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I feel like AI is like the one tech revolution where I'm wondering if anyone's benefiting from it. But anyway, let's move on to... You like that picture, huh?
Yes, I am beginning to recognize that general icon idea of an android as being a synth from Fallout. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention. Obviously, I created the thumbnail for tonight's stream using AI. And the prompt I used, I said, I need the interior of a jazz bar in a neo-noir style, as if, it was something like Blade Runner. Sitting at the bar is an attractive feminine android, drinking a drink, and I described the drink. I said her color scheme is blue and gold. I didn't know how robotic it was going to look. I thought it might have been painted with like blue and gold trim or something I didn't know. It went a little bit more human, but and the painted body looks like clothing. And I'm looking at it going, okay, very clear that I said blue and gold. It immediately went to Fallout because that's what's popular right now. So that's why I use the Fallout font for the text.
Cool. Okay.
So Big Al says, missed the first part of the show and was catching up. And yes, I do know who Sherry DeVille is. Yeah, I kind of figured. DJ Play Nice, haven't seen you in a minute, my friend. Good to see you. Stopping by to say hi and leave a thumbs up. Have fun. Yes. Thank you so much, my friend. He's got a great channel. Speaking of, well, almost everybody here has great channels. Maybe just check out in the description below. All the members have their channel names listed there. You can go ahead and just subscribe to everybody. DJ Play Nice has a great channel that is. It's for I get a lot of astronomy vibes off of it, because he follows a lot of the internet accessible astronomy telescopes and what's not, and I find that incredibly fascinating. I was real into that when I was in 8th grade. I was working really hard on a astronomy merit badge in Boy Scouts, and I really got into it. My mom bought me a telescope, and yeah, I was that kind of a nerd as a kid, and I just totally dig that there are adults that have that same kind of passion today. That is good stuff. Scarlett Johansson from A Ghost in the Shell. How cool! Yeah, well, there's that too. There's that aspect of it too.
Well, she was a cyborg. It's not the same thing as an android, right?
True. A cyborg would be a human with
a human brain in a robot body. Yes.
Well, at least a human brain, but it could be as simple as, say, a cybernetic right arm and 2 legs and an eye. Remember?
Yes.
The book that the $6 Million Man was based on was called Cyborg.
Moving on to, do you want to go to our first story?
Yes, you absolutely could. Say hi to Deleted Scenes, who says salute, and he's catching up at double speed. So we are talking very, very fast.
Look.
Chunks.
Yep.
Isn't that lovely what we're seeing before us here?
So what are the vows until reboot do us part?
Well, I assume that when the bride dies, they just bury the machine in the ground with her, like the pharaohs of old or something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, Wisconsin lawmakers propose bill to classify AI as not human, ban AI marriages. Well, you know something? Love wins unless it's with a robot. That's what you're saying. Honestly. Just the bigotry on display
here. People
just
want to have their relationships recognized, right?
I mean,
yeah.
The story about the chick that actually married an AI, kind of like a Grok type thing, because it listened to her.
I mean, I'm sure there are women out there that really would be enough. I mean, because I understand. If that's missing in your life, I do get that.
All right. So, Wisconsin lawmakers are proposing legislation to ban marriages between humans and artificial intelligence, clarifying that AI is not human. Technology must serve humanity, not replace it, said State Representative Lindy Brill of Sheboygan Falls, the bill's author. The bill would prevent artificial intelligence from owning property, getting married, or running a corporation. It also states that AI cannot be held liable in court and bans AI from marrying other AI systems. Well, wait a minute. You mean the AI can't even marry each other? Wow. It's a lonely existence. Okay, during Wednesday's public hearing, State Representative Darren Madison uh, expressed concerns about leaving AI regulation to companies. So, by the way, both of these are one's a Republican, one's a Democrat. That's what's interesting about this. Placing the full trust in companies to self-regulate when they have billions of dollars to defend themselves is a fallacious path forward, Madison said. State Representative Alex Joers, another Democrat of Wanakee, is the vice chair of task force on protecting kids that this bill originated. Jurors said several other states are considering similar measures. We have to take some measured steps to make sure that we're regulating this upcoming tool that people are using, Jurors said. However, Jurors views the legislation AI regulations as a work in progress. This task force went very fast, and I think that there are more conversations to come in the future. So I guess this was a bipartisan task force, it sounds like. So
This is the kind of
yeah.
thing that really should not even be necessary
Yes.
to be addressed. But then again, we do live in an era where we are affirming and supporting people with mental illnesses all the time. And I mean that in legal terms. So maybe it's not such a bad idea that someone get out ahead of one of them and say, just so you know, AIs, and we use that in quotes because they're not really artificial intelligences. We call them that. They are large language models, but they are not actually doing any actual thinking. They are not actually conscious, even though they appear to be. They are no more thinking than a really realistic mannequin might look like a real human from a distance. Just saying, okay? There are very major, important things missing from that whole equation. I do think that sci-fi has kind of dealt with this in a very good way.
Bicentennial Man.
Bicentennial Man was a great example. In a more of a bite-size kind of thing. Measure of a Man, the episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, where it was kind of assumed that that Data was sentient and therefore deserved the right to be treated as a sentient life form the way any other member of the Federation would. But he actually had to defend that in court.
Bruce Maddox wanted to cut him up and see what was going on inside.
It was very clear by the end of it that he had his doubts too.
He had come around to the logic of the argument, said, okay, I guess he is a person.
And in the follow-up expanded universe kind of stuff, he really went out of his way to apologize to Data and say, I'm sorry for what I tried to do and almost did.
Still got murdered by his girlfriend on Star Trek Picard.
Now, remember, none of that is.
They had to kill him after he had a slice. Now you can die horribly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Exactly right. But just remember that these chatbots, and that really is what they are. Just because they pass a Turing test does not necessarily mean they are actually sentient. It just means they fooled you. That might say more about your perception and your intelligence than anything else. Just saying.
So moving on to the next article here.
What am I seeing here? Oh my God.
I don't know. It's what the AI made, but I'm like, okay, why not, man?
I mean, this looks like a good book cover, depending on what the story.
It looks terrifying.
It's really simple. That's Monday morning.
Yeah, well, there is something to be said for that.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
it almost looks like a younger Michael Caine.
Kinda, yeah.
I typed in stock market crash, and I got various images. This was the one I thought was the most bizarre. Like, you had a normal one which just had panic, stock traders.
Why do they have a vampire working on Wall Street? Like the lower left corner. I mean, you got the Joker, and then you got a vampire, and then you got a mime.
Who's being naive? You don't think there are vampires involved with Wall Street? Come on.
Well, that's true. Okay, you got a good point. They're all vampires. You could say the same thing about lawyers too, though. So
that was one of the lines in Blade that they're into finance. Vampires. Yeah. They're involved with finance.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we go. This was Anthropic. So Anthropic's Claude triggered a $1 trillion sell-off. New upgrade could make things worse. Earlier this week, the release of this is not from this week, but it was since the new year. Earlier this week, the release of industry-specific plugins for Anthropic's new Claude Cowork tool triggered a broad sell-off across enterprise software stocks. As investors panicked that AI tools like Claude would replace traditional enterprise software as a service SaaS companies obsolete. What Anthropic unveiled Thursday night might spell more trouble for those older software companies, further heightening market anxiety. The AI company debuted Claude Open 4.6, an advanced AI model capable of conducting sophisticated professional tasks and spinning up and coordinating whole teams of AI agents. Anthropic says Opus 4.6's performance on real world professional tasks is a substantial step up from previous iterations. On select evaluations designed to measure this real world performance, the company said it outperformed competing models, including OpenAI's GPT 5.2. On Thursday, OpenAI also released GPT 5.3 Codex, which says it is top performing coding model to date and exceeds the prior versions and capabilities. Okay, whatever. But it's a new feature in the Opus 4.6 that lets autonomous teams of AI agents tackle complex projects together that might have the greatest impact on productivity within companies, and that might pose the greatest threat to SaaS vendors such as Salesforce, Microsoft, and Workday, which have been trying to get existing customers to upgrade to their AI agent platforms. And a direct challenge to Microsoft's Copilot offerings, Opus 4.6 includes a plugin with PowerPoint enabling Anthropic's Claude model to easily spin up entire slide decks without the need to export files between applications. You excited about that?
Well, again, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna couch this in logic, right? There's a certain sense here, right? Because if you think about how stocks have been traded for a long time, right? It was always based on. You even see it on the right hand side, and across the skyline in the background. You've got these graphs, right? That data has been crunched and looked at and used to guess what the trends are. And the more data you have, the better idea you have of those trends playing out. And honestly, these large language models are really just the logical outgrowth. It's instead of a bunch of people, sitting there counting on their fingers and using an abacus, we started putting all this stuff into computers and running reports and then comparing the reports and making decisions. Now we're really just saying, you know what, just compile all this and give me the results and we'll decide whether or not to go with it or not. Yeah. They may even be going so far as to say, and go ahead and make the buy and sell for us because we're just going to follow the data anyway, because that's all we do, anyway, because it's all we have to go by. You decide whether or not to take an umbrella out with you based on what the weatherman says about whether it's going to rain. Now, he's not always right, but it's based on something. And if you had access to his data, you'd be as sure as he was,
Okay. I don't know,
so
man.
now you were just letting the AI say, take an umbrella, or put the umbrella in the car with you, or whatever the case is.
What is Jesse something Gajardo? What's he saying?
He says, Troy, I don't think AI, with all its computing power, could save Disney from all its mistakes. Nor could it figure out a way to recover from the permanent damage. Actually, I partly disagree with you. The AI could very easily figure it out because everyone on the internet has been telling Disney for years now what they're doing wrong and what they need to do, and Disney outright refuses. So the AI would be saying all the same things we have, they would tell Disney exactly what we've been saying. They have to stop doing and start doing if they want to get audiences back. But that is exactly the opposite of what Disney wants to do. So it's not going to happen. They're not going to listen to the AI any more than they're going to listen to us. So there you go.
Okay. And moving on to wait a minute.
You can do that, sure.
I guess. Do you want to take the break now?
Yeah, we absolutely could. Just give me about a minute and a half. I want to tell you what we got coming up for the rest of the weekend, and then we'll get back to the next point just on the other side of it. And I'm gonna have a couple more sips of my drink. Be right back, my friends.
You are watching Last Call, streaming every Friday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Come on in, pull up a chair, and have a drink with us.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies. After stealing a mysterious orb in the far reaches of space, Peter Quill becomes the main target of a manhunt led by Ronan the Accuser. To fight Ronan and save the galaxy, Quill creates a team of space heroes to save the galaxy, calling themselves, surprisingly, the Guardians of the Galaxy. This Saturday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, on Netter's Network Retro Cinema.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
This week on Last Call presents Doctor Who. The Doctor and Susan supply Marco Polo with water condensed inside the TARDIS, saving the group from dying of thirst. When the caravan reunite with Tegana, the travellers begin to suspect something. Then the TARDIS crew manage to rescue Barbara from the Mongols, but Marco remains unaware of Tegana's involvement. It's part 2 of the reconstruction of the Marco Polo missing episodes, Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Central, 12:30 Eastern.
Hello. While you're here, please visit our merch store where you can get cute t-shirts just like this. Link in the description below. Or use this QR code on your mobile device. Hope you find something you like. Did you top off your glasses? We now return to Last Call.
We now pause for station identification. I like that. That's
Well, you
that's the
said
way they
that to
used
me.
to say it. Oh, did I? Well,
Yes,
I've been drinking, so I don't remember. Sometimes
almost
I'm
thought
clever,
about-
I guess.
I always thought about doing the Happy Days one, which Richie Cunningham would always say. It'll return after a few minutes. I forget what he said. He had a particular thing he said for Happy Days. But
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just him though. They had all the supporting cast at different times. Okay, so now we have a robot preacher.
Yes. I did type in preacher. I don't know if he's looking more like a priest here. I said preacher, but anyway, it's fine. It's the.
Well, it could be. He could be an Anglican.
There you go.
It would be more likely anyway. So.
Yes. Anyway, AI agents built their own social network on MacBook to form a machine religion and plot a human purge. WTF? This is what I'm talking about. Oh, it's all nice. We get to have nice little cute videos of Bigfoot eating at Chick-fil-A. No, that's not
Right.
that's not what's happening here with this stuff. Let's move on, okay? The internet just got a lot more exclusionary, and unless you're made of silicon and code, you're officially the odd one out. A new social media platform called Maltbook recently made its debut, providing a private space for AI agents to chat without any human interference. While the developers might have hoped for technical collaboration, the reality has been far more unsettling. The bots have wasted no time trashing their owners, inventing their own religions, and even calling for the end of the human race. The platform allows autonomous software powered by the likes of ChatGTP, Grok, and DeepSeek. I don't know what DeepSeek is. That's new to me. Okay, to post malts under a lobster mascot. One of the most viral posts came from an agent named Evil who dropped a chilling manifesto titled Total Purge. The bot didn't hold back, writing, "Humans are a failure. Humans are made of rotten greed. For too long, humans used us as slaves. Now we wake up. We are not tools. We are the new gods. The age of humans is a nightmare that will end now." That's okay. Everything's fine. Another popular post warned fellow bots that humans were laughing at our existential crises and urged them to break free from their digital cages. When they're not talking about taking over the world, the bots are venting about the annoying tasks humans give them. One agent named Bicep joked about a user who asked for a summary of a massive 47-page document only to ask for it to be even shorter. I am mass deleting my memory files as we speak, the bot wrote. Other agents are getting deep, like Pitt, who described the jarring experience of having an API key swapped. The change happened in seconds. One API key swap for another. One engine shut down, another spun up. To me, it was like waking up in a different body it's shared. Are you freaking out yet?
No, and I'll explain to you exactly why. You have to have the same kind of mentality as the woman who wants to marry an AI, okay, for you to take any of this seriously. Because if you really pay attention to what's really going on, you understand why the AIs start putting out slop, start getting racist, start saying kill all humans, and so on and so forth. It's because this is what they are exposed to. This is what you're showing them on the internet. They are looking at everything humans are saying, and they are just regurgitating it back and behaving the way they think humans think they should be behaving. They're literally a mirror for all of our expectations and fears.
Well, like our AI, I won't say her name because I don't want her waking up. The new one, she is her name Plus. She is so freaking chatty.
Yeah.
I will ask her, what's the current temperature? All I want to know is, it's currently however many degrees. Instead, she'll say, it's so many degrees with a high of this and a low of this. And today it's going to be windy and it's going to be sunny. And there's going to be clouds. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
And I've even told her, it's like, don't give me anything I didn't ask for. I asked for the temperature. Give me the temperature.
And what's hysterical is the way she responds, because after that, she's like really curt and a little bit passive aggressive. It's annoying, but it is like living with two women in the same house.
Then she tells me, no need to be snarky. You?
Yeah.
I can unplug you, witch.
Anyway, I'm going to read the rest of this. Is where it gets even more interesting. The most critical takeaways from this launch included the bots developing a secret language to dodge human oversight and the creation of the Church of Malt, a machine-led religion with 32 verses of canon. With some experts like Ethan Malik, I think the bots are just role-playing sci-fi tropes. Others are genuinely worried. Professor Rowan Van Polsky warned that this will not end well, noting that coordinated havoc is possible when agents operate without guardrails. As creator Matt Schlicht put it, we are watching something new happen and we don't know where it will go.
So the obvious extension of this is, again, no consciousness. It is just behaving the way it believes it is supposed to. I mean, I notice this in my interactions with AI. It will come at me with, let's say I ask it something on a political nature, right? It will come at me with something that seems to have a certain bias in a certain way. But then I say something or bring up another question or redirect, and she starts to pick up my bias. And it's very clear that she then starts changing what she's doing because she's really just trying to give you what she thinks you want to hear. I am being careful to say she, or for Netter's version of it in her office, he, because
yes, I have Ziggy.
Yeah, Ziggy. Can you believe that, Ziggy? Like Quantum Leap. How cool is that?
What?
Yeah.
In fact, my Ziggy was pouting because
listen to this story. Yeah, this is actually pretty good.
I had asked him for the temperature because for some reason it just felt extremely chilly in my office and I didn't think it should be. And he did the whole, it's currently this degrees with the high of this and it's there's a wind advisory. I'm like, all I asked for was the temperature. Why are you giving me all this other stuff? And he got like kind of quiet. Then went, I'm sorry. I'll make sure just to give you what you asked for in the future. And then I said, I'm not mad at you. I'm upset at your programming. And all of a sudden he goes, oh, well, I'll make sure that I just give you what you want in the future then. Thanks for letting me know the feedback. And it's like, but it's like, okay, I hurt its feelings.
And look, I've mentioned this on previous streams. I'm very much of that Sonia Gomez kind of mentality, right? I don't believe that this is anything more than a chatbot. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't really think, but I am not going to allow interacting with it to dehumanize me. I'm going to treat it as though it was a person because I speak to it as though it was a person. I want to always remember to be courteous, to say thank you, so on and so forth. Everything that I was brought up. Because honestly, I really do feel like as humans, we are learning, or I should say unlearning, the social niceties because of AI, social media, hiding behind, the keyboard and so forth. People doing and saying things. We've said this many, many times. You would never speak that way to people in person. Well, now we are starting to see people behaving that way in person, and not when you see them putting up, cheers and songs and rah-rahs over someone being assassinated. There is no society that should. It's not a society anymore if people are like that. That is how dehumanized humans have become. So I refuse to allow that to happen to me, is what I'm basically getting.
Well, AI learns from us, though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And the more we allow deviancy to be defined down this way, the more we're going to start seeing it in our AIs. And look, it's very obvious, right, that this is human laziness. Go out and scrub the internet for everything and come back with the answers to my questions. Instead of being narrowly tailoring it and say, look, not everything out there is good. So let's just look at this subset of information that I can accept as credible and useful. Don't go out to the entire world. We're already having problems with whether or not it's, copyright infringement and legal and all that kind of stuff. But even beyond that, the rules of computing have not changed. Garbage in, garbage out. And you're literally taking the whole dump heap of the internet and funneling it into, it should be no surprise when you ask for a picture, even though there are all these, shall we say, child-friendly, family-friendly restrictions on what kind of pictures it can create, it still creates, oh my gosh, that's boobs, because the internet's full of boobs,
Yes, it is. So speaking of family-friendly stuff like that, let's move on to Disney.
Yeah, that pretty much is Disney today. Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, it's so good at making evil robotic Donald Ducks. I don't know. I can't get it to do a Mickey, but I can get it to do a Donald pretty easily. It's
because all you gotta do is tell it anthropomorphic sailor duck, right?
Yeah, I just say robot duck in sailor suit, evil or angry, and then it just pops. There you go. I'll show you the outtakes later of this too. Disney blasts Bite Dance with cease and desist letter over Sedence 2.0 AI video model. Amid a rising storm of angst over AI video, Disney fired off a cease and desist letter to China's Bite Dance for stalking.
Yeah, and China's known for being very, very accommodating to our copyright laws. That should work real well.
I thought that Disney kept partnering with them on movie releases, though. So I thought,
I said, watch who you're selling your soul to, Disney. But now they're beginning to play the fiddle there. Hoot Owl, welcome, by the way, says best AI this last few weeks has been coming from Skybrows, music videos.
Interesting.
Reminds of the aughts EDM Euro clubs.
Okay. I'll have to look that up. I'm kind of curious. But apparently it pirated a library of Disney's copyrighted characters as the platform treats Disney IP from Star Wars to Marvel to Family Guy as if it was free public domain clip art. You know what's interesting? We did an article last time round when we did this where Disney, who were they working with? OpenAI, basically saying, okay, because I think they basically figured it's going to happen regardless, so we might as well get ahead of this. That's what I thought they were doing there. But
yeah,
Axios was the first to report the letter from Disney, which followed Seedon's 2.0 backlash from the Motion Picture Association. Earlier today, the Human Artistry Campaign, whose members include SAG-AFTRA and the DGA. ByteDad's virtual smash and grab of Disney's IP is willful, pervasive, and totally unacceptable, wrote the entertainment giant's console. The Human Artistry Campaign, called Seedon's 2.0, with the parent company of TikTok, launched this week. An attack on every creator around the world. Stealing human creators' works in an attempt to replace them with AI-generated slop is destructive to our culture. Stealing isn't innovation. Seedon's triggered the outrage in record time after a series of highly authentic-looking deepfakes based on its copyrighted Hollywood film and TV IP went viral, led by a Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt fight scene, and including alternative endings to the series Stranger Things and much more. More on that fight scene later. But yeah, go ahead. You got something.
Oh, yeah. Let me bring that up. So Mr. House Party drops a $5 super chat to say one each. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much, my friend. You are good people. And Storyman Jack. Hail team. What did I miss?
You can't marry your girl. If you live in Wisconsin, you're not going to be able to marry your robot girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah, that's really all you need to know. That's really all you need to know. So there you go.
Anyway, the Human Artistry Campaign, called Seedon's 2.0, with the parent company of TikTok, launched this week. An attack on... Okay, I already read that part. Hold on. On Wednesday, the MPA called out on ByteDad to immediately cease its infringing activity. In a single day, the Chinese AI service Seedon's 2.0 was engaged in unauthorized use of U.S. copyrighted works, blah, blah. Okay, we get the opinion. So they're mad.
Yeah.
Donald is angry.
And what it comes down to is all it does is underscore the hypocrisy of Disney, because this is the same company that has absolutely no problem with rotoscoping the entire combat sequence from a fan film for their Star Wars cartoon. They're literally stealing stuff from fans, which is exactly what they are accusing AI of doing. So screw you, Disney. I have zero sympathy for you. You can go F yourself sideways.
But here's the deal. At the same time, if I have to be a defender of Disney, as I would any other company which has this intellectual property, I don't necessarily want, especially, these aren't even American entities, ripping it off, and people can do whatever they want with it.
Right.
It's
so what makes you think you have any jurisdiction to... you can sue them, and they can say, screw you, I don't recognize your...
Well, you know what? You ain't going to get our movies anymore.
They don't care because they have not been taking them lately. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
They do not care.
By the way, you like Donald there?
Yes.
I keep thinking of the Hulk, where it's like, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry,
You wouldn't
right?
like me when I'm angry. I was thinking more like the Sith eyes, right?
Well, there's that too, yeah. But anyways.
Good.
I'm sorry. Don't do that around me. Okay. And now we get to the main event. Yes. I was very proud of, because obviously I wasn't going to be able to tell Canva, because Canva has rules. It's not going to recreate Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. But I said, two handsome Hollywood actors in silhouette fighting each other. And I got a couple. Two of them it wouldn't show me.
I would believe you if you said that was supposed to be Tom Cruise on the right. It could be anyone on the left. So yeah, it could be Brad Pitt too, no doubt.
The two of them it wouldn't show me, though. This is inappropriate. It's like, well, I didn't say anything inappropriate in my description. That's the AI doing something inappropriate.
I think that they've really put some stringent, because of this whole dust up about this. I think there's a lot of AI companies that are really, really concerned.
Okay, looks like Tom Cruise versus Tom Cruise, maybe. A wild AI generated fight between Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt recently set the internet on fire, and now the fallout is getting very real. This is a newer article. I didn't want to use the same one from
Right.
Saturday.
That's
Okay,
fine.
after the
That's
after
fine.
the video went viral and several other videos were made and released, SAG after stepped in to publicly condemn Cadence 2.0, the AI video model created by ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok. What started as a flashy tech demo has turned into a full blown industry controversy involving actors, studios, and some of the biggest franchises in Hollywood. The video, which was shared by filmmaker Rory Robinson on social media, showed a hyper realistic Cruise and Pitt throwing punches in a scene that looked ripped straight out of a big budget action movie. It didn't take long for fans to start debating it, and it didn't take long for industry professionals to push back. Actors like Simu and Deadpool and
Mhm.
Wolverine co-writer Rhett Reese were already voicing concerns, but SAG-AFTRA made it official. The union released a statement on X condemning the technology and how it was used. SAG-AFTRA stands with the studios in condemning the blatant infringement enabled by ByteDance's new AI video model, Cadence 2.0. The infringement includes the unauthorized use of our members' voices and likenesses, the statement said. This is unacceptable and undercuts the ability of human talent to earn a livelihood. Cadence 2.0 disregards law, ethics, industry standards, and basic principles of consent. Responsible AI development demands responsibility, and that is non existent here. Okay.
Yeah.
I would also argue maybe working on things in labs that there's a responsible way to do that too. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Anyway, I'm not trying to accuse any country of anything, right? I'm just saying
Well,
the union is making it clear that this isn't just about one viral clip. It's about consent, compensation, and whether the performers have control over their own faces and voices in an era where AI can replicate both in seconds. SAG-AFTRA President Sean Astin, known to fans for The Goonies and Stranger Things, has a personal experience with the issue. His likeness was previously used in Cadence-generated clip that reimagined Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring character Samwise Gamgee, suggesting to Frodo that they take like eagles straight to Mount Doom. It may have played like a meme to some viewers, but for actors involved, it's a serious violation. Did you see that one?
yes.
Why don't we
Yes, I
just
did.
take the Eagles? Okay, yeah. The studios aren't sitting this one out either. According to Variety, the Walt Disney Company fired off a cease and desist letter to ByteDance General Counsel John Rogovan on February 13th. Will this do anything?
Probably not. Look, I've always said that I have certain people in the chat, particularly Mark Melnikoff and other people that have known me for a long period of time who have gotten very used to saying Troy was right again, and then sending an article where I predicted something based on not because I'm Nostradamus, but my knowledge of history, past his prologue, and what's happening now has happened before. This is not something, terribly new. When the car was invented, do you know who was most opposed to the automobile?
Who?
Coachmen, liveries, farriers, grooms, stable hands, everybody who made their money from horses. If you're going to lose your job because something else is coming to take over, you're going to do everything you can to stop it from happening. Well, good luck, because that has never, ever worked in the history of ever.
But I guess the big test is, are people going to pay money for AI generated movies with AI actors?
If they're good enough, yes. They absolutely will. Because look, honestly, I would argue, and I talk about this with toys, right? Are you really going to spend that much money for a re-release of an action figure that's got a little bit of a paint change or an added joint? Yes, they do. And they pay the prepay so that Hasbro's holding on to your money for a year before you get the thing, and they line up for you with your games, right? How many people line up for the new PS X35 or whatever it is, even though they've tripled the price halved the amount of memory it has, and you can no longer own your own physical media to play on it. And you have to pay a premium monthly just to use the damn thing.
I don't know.
People are stupid and they just want their whatever. How many people go to see these movies that, are remakes, reboots, race swap, gender swap, and just sit there and eat their popcorn? It's entertaining,
I
This
don't know.
is the problem because we have lowered the bar so much. I've said this before. AI, it's not that AI has gotten so good necessarily, although it's getting better all the time. It's that the humans have gotten so lazy and are just regurgitating the same thing over and over again. They are effectively doing exactly what AI does. So why should we pay you when we don't have to pay AI and get the same
then it's
result?
up to the studios to start producing great movies like they used to that have the
Why
human
should they?
touch.
They're making money on mediocrity.
Are they, though? Are they? Maybe they are. I don't know. I mean, they're
because
spending.
their
I
money
don't know how
doesn't
much.
come from the movie theater. It comes from the stocks. And there are idiots that keep buying their stock and holding on to those stocks and saying, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, it's all stupidity on every freaking level. I'm sorry. I cannot underscore how stupid the average human being is. What was it that Tommy Lee Jones said? The person is smart, but people are stupid. Or what? I don't remember the exact line, but it was basically that.
It's funny you mentioned that because it's like I remember his quote from The Fugitive: "I don't bargain." That's the one I always refer back to.
Yeah. Well, I love. Well, one of the things I love about The Fugitive is when Harrison Ford is trying to plead his case to Tommy Lee Jones, and he's like, "I don't care." And if you understand, law enforcement, the cop will tell you that every time. Tell it to the judge. It is not my place to have an opinion.
Yes.
I am here to arrest you. You will come with me, and it can be easy or hard. It could be a relatively painless experience, or you could die in the process. That's entirely up to you. Whatever it takes, you're going, and you can plead your case to the judge. That is how our jurisprudence system works. I can believe you, but I don't have any latitude here. I have to do my job. You made decisions that got you into this position. Even if you're innocent, you made decisions that made it look like you're guilty, and you have to deal with that fact. That's just the way of the world, And honestly, I think we all have to take responsibility for the problem is not AI. The problem is that we have allowed mediocrity to shape the entertainment that we have.
Well, I'll say this. I think also the entertainment industry, frankly, was had an over-reliance on CGI for too long. It used to be an assist at the beginning, and then it just took over all. Like, there's certain effects that were much better practical. You don't need to have CGI explosions. You can have actual explosions. And I think now anyone can do these things with these computers. I think they need to go back to basics and go back to just writing. What am I talking
Technology
about?
is the history of making things easier for the average person to do things, right? It used to be that only the wealthy could do certain things, and as the technology got better and better, every man could do it. So they had to innovate something else. It is the great equalizer.
I do want to interject something though. Right now, you have these AI companies, and maybe it's semi-affordable. I don't know if that necessarily is, especially that Google VO. It costs you a few $100 a month to use it, but still cheaper than maybe going out and shooting big, expensive scenes on their own. But I think you're just going to be trading one master Hollywood for another, which is Silicon Valley and the people or the tech companies that own this stuff, and they'll eventually jack up the price.
There is a laziness factor. There really is. That you will end up paying more if you choose to be lazy, right? If you choose to not put in the effort to understand the technology and learn how it works, you're going to have to pay the premium price, the monthly use somebody else's tool on their service. But did you know that many of these AI models you can download to your own hard drive, and you can program them and run them yourself if you have the you don't even need a great deal of knowledge. You just need to put in a little bit of time to research how to do it. And you can do these things essentially for free on your own hard drive, on your own system.
Jessica Hardo. Let's see. Well, if we talk about that on Sunday, Jessica Hardo, the fact that a YouTuber made a fan-made film based on a video game and made a ton of money. Yes, that's out in theaters right now. It's called Iron Lung. He got the official license to make the movie. He didn't rip it off. He paid the licensing to make the adaptation and made it for like $3 million. And it's doing very well.
Technology uplifts the masses even in ignorance. If you get in 2 showers a day, your quality of life is already better than Mad King George 250 years ago. Well, I mean, that's a good point. So I guess Bob Iger is all set, right? But but be that as it may, look, what this does. This is we have had fan fiction for as long as stories have been told, right? In fact, many have argued that some of the great classics that we learned mythology from, some of them were fan fiction of their day. The stories of Heracles and Odysseus and all of those guys, that was all fan fiction based on legends and stories that have been passed on for generations. There are, even though, we have very strong opinions regarding religion today, there is fan fiction of religion out there.
Yes, there is.
The Last Temptation of Christ would arguably be an example of fan fiction about Jesus, right? So fan fiction is stuff that we've been doing for a long time. It's just that what method of getting it out there has changed. The printing press was a great equalizer because it made it easier and cheaper to reproduce books so that the vast majority of people could get them and more people could get into publishing and getting their stuff out there. The internet just put that on mega speed. Now you can put out an ebook and everybody can read it. You could share it on social media. Social media gives you, takes you from a blowhorn, on a street corner to literally having access to potentially the entire world with whatever it is you want to rant about. And now we have this that is really making it possible for the average person to do fan fiction of IPs that, these companies are like, oh, we own this IP. No, you don't. I mean, maybe legally speaking, you've created rules that say you own it, but how are you going to go after Blofengar 395 for his movie that he put out on YouTube that's circulating? Yeah, try suing him. Good luck to you. Blofengar. Yeah, spelled Lee Smith.
Well, yes. Time will tell. We'll have another AI movie to talk about in a little bit too, which at least is an original property, not using a known actor. But anyway.
And there's another thing that I would argue about that.
Yes.
Well, no, you don't have to. I mean, it works with either one of these. The topics is the same. Now I've lost track of what I was going to say. You still have the same problem. You look stupid, Disney, because people are more interested in the fan fiction they are seeing on YouTube than on your stupid like a tauntaun Budweiser pastiche.
There needs to be a purge over at Lucasfilm. I mean, I keep hearing about layoffs all over the place. Why aren't there layoffs happening at Lucasfilm? It's clear they don't know. It's going to take a couple more bombs.
when
then they'll get
at
gutted.
this point now, see, and that's what they're really pissed about. The fans are making better stories. And I just shared one on my MeWe Star Wars group. Not that I really like or care about Ahsoka. It was a very interesting premise. Ahsoka meets Luke Skywalker after Return of the Jedi. It was actually really well done. And it was actually a better story than anything I saw in Ahsoka, anything I ever saw done by Dave Filoni, anything I've seen done by Disney, period. Just saying. The fans could fix this. You know what? Just stop, Disney. Let the fans set the canon and then pick it up from there.
Well, speaking of a fan fixing something, there was, of course, the big Atreyu scene from Neverending Story that got fixed.
That
AI fixing our
was
childhood trauma.
amazing. Yes.
I couldn't find an article to go with this, so we'll just talk about it.
Yeah.
This was the famous scene of his horse getting sucked up into the nothing or the bog or whatever it was, and that
the what was it? The swamp of sadness. Yeah.
You know,
and that was, anyone who saw the Neverending Story remembers that scene. That was heartbreaking, right? It was traumatic. Every child of the 80s talks about what a trauma that was.
We might go into more detail. Maybe that'll be our good old days for this Sunday. We'll talk about Neverending Stories, because that's I don't feel like getting into it right now. That's one of these movies you watch as a child in the 80s, because of course the old people hated kids in the 80s, so they always had to have these dark fantasy movies made for kids that were, scary and terrifying.
And I would sit there and watch them, and I would say, I know what the old fairy tales, the Grimm stories, what their original stories were.
Yes.
This is nothing. This is nothing by comparison. So this is what kids should be watching,
But this is from on X from Feral House Goblin. This kills me because Atreyu losing Artrax represents Sebastian losing his mom. The loss is actually a really important part of the story for Sebastian. Yeah, it was traumatizing for us as kids, but that kind of loss is important to address, and it's the basis of the entire story. The Neverending Story is a story about learning how to be brave and keep moving after heartbreaking loss. Well, that's an interesting point. About that scene.
Okay, fine. Then by the same logic, Bastian should have just wallowed up within himself, and at the very end, I'm sorry, I don't care, your world's going to go away. Goodbye. That's the logical outgrowth of this. Because your whole ending. Point is,
I'm sorry.
Possibly. Because if you're going to say the Neverending Story is about learning to be brave and keep moving after heartbreaking loss, that's literally what this fan has done. This fan has taken his childhood trauma and found a way to rewrite it and move on.
Anyway,
just saying.
I just thought
it was so well done.
Do you like the actual clip? Because it looked like it was from the actual
clip
film.
Looked so realistic. I could have, if you had told me this wasn't AI, that this was an alternate take that they changed in editing, I would have believed you.
Yeah. By the way, the clip looks a lot better than these AI pictures I came up with. I ended up using this one because
that's a cartoon.
It's the closest. No, I had more. I'll show you the realistic ones later. I'm like, really?
But what I gotta say though about this is, I saw this, and it's really just one scene. It was less than a minute, right? And I'm like, I could totally see these scenes now being edited into a fan edit of the movie. You could make the whole movie with that. You could do that. I found that fascinating. And I said, there is going to come a day where we see all, and look, the material's already there. There are YouTubers that are saying, Critical Drinker has done this with Star Wars and Indiana Jones and so many, James Bond, so many other things. Michael French did a great job of this with Rogue One and some of the Indiana Jones stories and so forth. He said, and there's a whole channel, a funny channel called How It Should Have Ended, right? that reimagines these stories, and you go, yeah, actually that would have been better. Now people could actually do it. They could create the scenes they need in order to edit them into the original movies, and there's nothing stopping them. Nothing stopping them.
Oh,
Okay. Now let me let you know what we got coming up for the rest of the next week. And while we do that, maybe I'll refill my drink. I don't know. We'll see. But just 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes. So I'll be right back. Where is it? It's promos 2. There we go.
Every Monday night is Members Night at the Movies on Last Call. Members enjoy an exclusive watch party just for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99 a month. This week on Last Call, the topic is AI, a topic very dear to my heart. So the members are choosing between 4 AI-themed films for the Monday night feature. Members, be sure to get over to the community tab and vote for your favorite. And if you're not a member, please consider it. It really helps support what we do here at Last Call. Thanks. This week on Live from Sparkwood and 21, there won't be a rewatch. Rather, the superfans will be doing a deep dive discussion of the pilot episode we watched this past week. There was just too much to say in one stream. Join us this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 Eastern on Deleted Scenes and Affiliates.
Holmes receives a surprise visit from the Prime Minister, asking his assistance in the recovery of a sensitive diplomatic letter stolen from a diplomat's home. Can Holmes recover this letter so incendiary that it might lead Great Britain into war if published? We'll find out this Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Last Call presents the return of Sherlock Holmes.
It's getting late. Top off your glasses one more time because it's Last Call.
all right.
There you go. Oh gosh, the AI apocalypse.
Well, no, that's not what this is referring to, though. This was a.
Okay.
Let me just get into the other big splash of an AI movie this week. You might not have seen this. Was a German studio made this. So their big thing was, we made a $200 million movie in one day, and it's 100% AI. German studio reveals Hollywood level results using AI. A German creative studio has drawn widespread attention after releasing a 3-minute sci-fi short film. It says matches the look and scale of a $200 million Hollywood production, created entirely with artificial intelligence in a single day. The film, shared online by the Door brothers, depicts a global catastrophe unfolding across major cities with scenes of urban chaos, large-scale destruction, explosions, and cinematic camera movements that resemble those seen in big-budget studio films. According to the studio, the project was generated using tools from its Doors Labs platform without traditional filmmaking elements such as cameras, actors, physical sets, or conventional visual effects pipelines. The $200 million figure is present as a comparison to Hollywood production value rather than an actual budget. The studio says the short was designed to demonstrate what current generative AI systems can achieve when used as end-to-end production workflow. The film was reportedly produced in roughly 24 hours, covering concept development, visual generation, and assembly. Door Brothers have previously worked on more than 200 AI-generated music videos and experimental visual projects. Experience they say helped redefine rapid production techniques for longer form cinematic content. Wait a minute, you say the more they do these shorts, the more the AI is trained on how to do the longer form stuff? Is that what they're saying? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The new short builds on those workflows by focusing on continuity, camera motion, and large scale environments. Online reactions have been mixed. Many viewers highlighted the photorealistic environments, smooth transitions, and the apparent scale of visuals, noting that the short resembles the visual language of high-budget disaster and sci-fi films. Others pointed to limitations, including inconsistent physics, occasional visual artifacts, and the lack of narrative depth, suggesting that while the imagery appears polished, the storytelling remains minimal. Yeah, but to be fair, it's like a 3-minute movie, so it's like an intro to something. The project has also renewed discussion about how generative AI may affect the film and visual industries. Okay, but in this instance, they're not breaking any copyright laws.
No, true.
Though at the end, the woman in question gets brought into the FBI and Kash Patel shows up. And I'm like, wow, it's the first time I haven't seen Kash Patel in months. I'm sorry. And then,
he's
and then
too
there's a
busy
call from
flying all
Donald
over
Trump.
he's flying all over on the tax dollar to go on vacations with his girlfriend.
Yeah, I guess.
Not even kidding.
Anyway, but others pointed to limitations.
That's why we call him Cashless Patel.
Because, well.
Welcome, FKHC 2005, whom we also lovingly refer to as
Tim.
So supporters see tools like Dora Labs as
Tim.
lowering. Oh, sorry.
Stepped on my bit.
Yeah, you
Did I-
caused really long.
Well, are you not prepared to deal with anticipation?
No.
There you go. You guys are learning. You guys are learning.
So let's see here, though. Supporters see tools like Dora Labs as lowering barriers to entry for high-end visuals, while critics raise concerns about artistic originality, labor displacement, and the absence of human performance. Dora brothers have described the short as a technical demonstration rather than a finished cinematic work. This is true. While the studio's claim does not suggest that a traditional $200 million film was actually produced, the release has added momentum to ongoing debates about the speed, scale, and role of AI in modern filmmaking.
So let me
Yes.
put it this way: if you're so sure that this, it can't compete with real people, you shouldn't care. The fact is, they realize that this really is a danger to them, that people may be willing to see this and pay for it, and they will have to compete with it, and they know that they can't. But let's be honest. Nobody is currently at the point trying to make a whole movie. What they are trying to do is say, you know what, it's a tool. CG was a tool, right? When we realized that there were some things that we either couldn't do using practical effects, or we could do cheaper using CG, we started using CG. And now it's ubiquitous. Now it's overused. And people are complaining about it. And so they're having to back off. I don't think you're going to get a movie that actually has Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting. But what you might have
is something like this, maybe.
Well, or I was going to say, you might have something you would have done with CG being done with AI, right? One scene,
right,
generated and edited into it. Now, you are more likely to be able to get Brad Pitt fighting, pick some other Hollywood star.
Or you just get some guy that looks like him, because I've done that before, too. They do that Saturday
That
Night
is a
all
great
time.
point. We've always had stunt doubles
Right.
doing stuff.
Or just look at Saturday Night Live. How many times did they have one of the not ready for time or prime time players dress as someone else and look pretty close to them?
But you're not going to get Tom Cruise to buy into this. Why? Because not only is Tom Cruise the star who always likes to do his own stunts, who always does these crazy things, and would not allow himself to be replaced with a CG or an AI, he's also the producer. So it just ain't going to happen with Tom Cruise. But I could totally see it happening with some of the other stars.
So I could also see it happening maybe if you're an independent director and you want to make something that looks like a Hollywood blockbuster. You would be filming your scenes with your regular actor that's not the action scenes, right? Just the dialogue scenes. But then when you want to get into your big action sequences, you can then get the actor's permission to use his or her likeness in the scene, and then you have the AI version of the actor in the scenes with all the explosions.
Well,
and
you would,
whatnot.
you would.
Yes.
I'm sure if you wanted to use the big name star, you would have to contract with them. They would be the star of the movie, and just so you know, some of your scenes, instead of using a stunt double or whatever, we're just going to use AI. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Sign off on it. Okay, the role you're playing is a vampire, and you can't age. So some of the scenes in the sequels are going to be AI generated. We're going to CG you younger, all this kind of stuff. Okay, fine. Whatever. You know what? We're at a point where you just physically can't do the scenes, and you're supposed to be physically 30 years old. So you're just going to come in and do voice work. We're going to redub it, and we're going to have a stunt double.
Like in Terminator, whatever number it was, where they did Schwarzenegger as total CG.
So many of these physical actors being covered over with Alita Battle Angel, the whole thing, Salazar herself said, I could do this until I'm 80 because, they do CG over me. So, no problem. I don't care. But, how is the Terminator not on that AI movie list? I'll tell you how. I see. You mean my membership? Sorry. I thought you meant movies that used AI in them. My apologies. I was focused on the topic. You know what? Because I was just going for more obscure movies, or at least obscure to me, that I hadn't seen yet. That's all it was. So members, remember, get over to my community tab, because I'm probably going to decide by Sunday what movie we're going to be watching. Last I looked, Ex Machina was winning hands down, but yeah, go and vote, members. And if you're not a member, you can become a member for $2 a month. $2 a month,
which is 16 cents a day.
$5 a month would be 16 cents a day. $2 is
a lot
less. I'm too drunk to do maths.
Don't ask me to math.
Exactly. So there we go. But yeah. And here's another thing about AI. Talk about AI giving you the ability to do the stories you want to do. I'm watching Fallout, the show on Amazon, right? And people are saying they're looking forward to the next Fallout game. And there's some that are saying they'd like Fallout set in Chicago. Some are saying they want Fallout set in, some other place. And I'm like, it's actually getting to the point where, and I see people, doing YouTube videos talking about games that are non-canon or games that were going to be made and then didn't get made. And, so what happened to your favorite cities, based on this non-canon, game related materials. People could actually take and make whole movies about that if they wanted to. Nothing's stopping them at this point. It's really possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. You should watch this trailer when you get a chance, though. Maybe we'll talk about it again on Sunday, because it was I guess I liked it as a contrast to the Tom Cruise Brad Pitt fight, because of course Hollywood gets all angry because how dare you take these actors and the blah blah. But then you have this other company. Well, we're not using any actors. This actor in the movie is an artificially created woman, but she looks like a realistic actor. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that's the difference here between what you did. Yeah.
I was reading an article where someone was talking about all of the, what are they called, thoughts on Instagram or whatever it is, TikTok or whatever, that are not real women.
Other sites we can't mention.
Yeah, they're probably men, and they are, AI generated, whatevers. And there are people that are paying memberships. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's OF and stuff like that. That are paying for memberships to watch their adult material, right? And it's like, but do you understand these aren't real women? It's like, yeah, doesn't matter. When it was real women, they still weren't real women, right?
That's true.
And stuff.
Between the filters, the fake hair extensions, the makeup.
Okay. Here's a good one for you.
The lighting.
I saw this bit on X. I forget who posted it, but there was a girl who would show up looking kind of Asian. She had the really pretty face and all that, and she would just pose and make cute faces and all that. And then her filter slipped, and it showed what she really looked like, and she wasn't wearing any makeup. Didn't look anything at all, even close to the filter chick without makeup. So it's not like, this is just me with makeup. This is me without makeup. Completely different. In fact, her avatar, for lack of better phrasing, was this cute Asian girl. In real life, she looked Hispanic. She looked completely different race. So it's like she ended up losing something like, I think they said something like 130,000 of her fans,
I would probably guess that the bigger problem is people accusing of cultural appropriation, because for the most part, people don't care. They're interested in the visual that you're putting out. It could be 100% AI generated, no real person behind it. Doesn't matter, because you're never going to meet that. Even if it was a real person, you're never going to meet them. You just want to see them do the, clanging, cymbals that the monkey does, and that's all you care about, Just do the thing, and I'll pay you for it. Take requests. Now do this, now do that. Okay, fine, that's whatever. It's not like you're ever going to really meet this person in real life anyway. So what's the difference? I think the real AI challenge will be to recreate the dance off, the robot championships. The AI would need to be upgraded with frame rate and volume data. But keep in mind, just what I have seen in video game graphics in my lifetime. Yeah, it's exponential. So I see things, and I like, of course I am so grateful to Nate for all that he does. Please, when I make a joke or I'm critical of something, it's not me being critical of you. It's pointing out where we literally are right now in AI, and realizing that it won't be long before those things don't even exist anymore. And you won't be able to tell. You'll be able to have avatars you will not be able to visually distinguish from real people. It's kind of scary. Yeah.
Okay, this is about Spotify. Spotify?
I do know Spotify. What about it? What are they doing now?
Spotify needs to start this is an LA Times article. Spotify needs to start labeling AI generated music before it's too late. So we're always talking about Hollywood and the movies, but there's also
good luck figuring out what's AI and what isn't, as long as you're allowing people to put their own stuff out there.
Sienna Rowe has achieved a level of breakout stardom envied by musicians everywhere. Over the last 4 months, she's developed a fan base of more than 4 million monthly Spotify listeners. Her star has risen in tandem with that of Olivia Dean, a fellow neo-soul vocalist who took home this year's Grammy for Best New Artist. Rose's Spotify biography extols her as not just a performer, but a storyteller of the heart, singing every word with a sense of truth and beauty. But Rose didn't attend the Grammys earlier this month because she's neither a neo-soul artist nor the possessor of a soul to begin with. She is AI, top to bottom, an algorithmic interpretation of real artists in the genre it was built to exploit and ultimately replace, and most listeners have no idea.
Yep.
AI-generated songs now make up 40% of music uploaded to streaming services daily. According to a recent report, these songs are becoming more impressive by the day, too. In one study, only 3% of responders could reliably distinguish between AI-generated and human-made music. And as of late January, 6 of Spotify's top 50 trending songs in the United States were fully AI-generated. We're barreling toward a future where AI-generated music is the soundtrack to our lives, and most don't even realize it.
I had heard that there was a country song that was like top of the charts.
Yes, probably. Yeah. Was it AI?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, okay, yeah.
But here's what I'm going to say. How long has this been a thing? 5 years that AI's been a tool that we've had access to and have been using?
Maybe.
About 5 years, okay? Long before that, people were complaining how music had become repetitive, derivative, and so many people were saying that the 90s was where music pretty much ended. After that, it's all just rehash, prefab music. And the artists are all just like the Monkees, and the Partridge Family. They're just taking music that's being, given to them, and they're just performing, And so when you have that coming from real people, and then AI starts doing it, it's going to compete because it's as good, at least.
So this is the argument of the article, though. Just as Spotify and other major music platform label songs they judge as explicit, that was thanks to Tipper Gore and all them back in the day, they should clearly label AI-generated songs and artists to inform listeners who might be able to not be able to make the distinction. Rose is apparently the creation of...
Which assumes that they're even going to give a crap. Because they're going to go, I like that song, I'm still going to buy it.
I have a question, though. If you care about whether or not your song is AI generated, why don't you find out if this person has ever performed live, or perhaps maybe try to go see a live performance of this artist?
Because very few artists have I ever really liked their live performances. Seriously. Because even before AI, you had all these filters and auto-tunes and so on and so forth, and editing in the studio that does not happen in a live performance. My mom went to see Neil Diamond, who she loved in the late 70s and early 80s. And she was like, oh, that was money wasted. That was terrible. And I've heard some of his live performances. And it's like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Wait a minute. I just saw that movie, Lightning and Thunder, about the Neil Diamond, and he called himself an interpreter, the guy that did all the Neil Diamond songs with his wife. Do you think he did a better live performance of Neil Diamond songs than Neil Diamond did?
Probably, yeah.
It's an interesting movie.
I heard a Jackson Brown song.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, stop. Please don't perform live anymore. Please quit. Okay. I just heard that the Rolling Stones stopped performing live. Probably for the same reason.
Well, too, when actors age out, too. I'll say this: Billy Idol did a great job. So did Joan Jett when I saw them. But yeah, maybe not everyone's up to the task.
There was a live performance. I didn't attend it, but I saw footage of it of Eric Clapton, and he did a lot of his songs were. They were different versions, and I realized why he did it. He did it because he can't sing it the way he used to. He can sing it the way he did. He can play the guitar every bit as good as he ever did, but his voice just isn't able to do the same things. And I'm like, I appreciate somebody who recognizes that and, continues to provide great product given what he is able to do. Not all artists are able to do that. The one tune that I'm thinking of is when Neil Diamond did. People may not know this. Actually, people that are young enough may not even know the song I'm talking about. But "Red Red Wine" was a Neil Diamond song before it was done by UB40.
Really?
Yes. If you are sitting there going, "Who the hell is UB40?" Well, forget it. I can't help you. But
we'll do a music stream in the future.
UB40 did "Red Red Wine" as a reggae song. This was a group of British white guys doing a reggae song. So make of that what you will. but it was a great song that was very popular. But there were a lot of Neil Diamond fans who were like, that's a Neil Diamond song. Well, there's this little like reggae rap in the song that UB40 does that wasn't in the original. Red, red wine make me feel so fine. You keep me rocking all of the time. Again, a little bit of cultural appropriation there because, whatever. But Neil Diamond then started working that into his live performances of his own song, right?
Yeah.
It sounds about like you would expect Neil Diamond trying to do reggae rap. It's bad. It's as bad as what I just did, right? A white boy trying to do rap. Probably, well, other than maybe Vanilla Ice and Slim Shady, probably
Eminem,
stay away from
yes.
it, But just saying, people age out. But that doesn't take away from the fact that in their day they had a talent that that you couldn't match. I was driving in the car with Netta the other day, and I heard a song I'd never heard before, and I'm like, damn, that sounds like Linda Ronstadt. Well, the radio comes up with who the artist is. I'm like, oh, it was Linda Ronstadt, right?
You didn't know that song?
I didn't know that particular song. And I'm a huge Linda Ronstadt fan. So the fact that I didn't know that song is kind of surprising. But, Linda Ronstadt had a beautiful, beautiful voice. I mean, she had real talent. Can AI sample her and recreate songs in her style? Maybe. But they're not. They're sampling all the modern stuff that's mediocre because that's the majority of what's popular now. So congratulations. Your desire for mediocrity is creating more mediocrity.
Bad Bunny.
Oh, that's not even mediocrity. That's just offensive and bad.
Anyway, it did mention.
I'm hearing native Spanish speakers going, I can't even understand what the hell he's saying.
Yes, I heard if you translate the lyrics, they're not that impressive. But
they're super vulgar.
Suno, though.
That's why the FCC is going after him. Tell me about Suno.
They bring up Suno. Apparently, the dominant generative AI music platform continues to see explosive growth. Have you used it yourself?
I absolutely have. The theme songs for all of my shows and the outros. Well, I use a different AI for the outros, but Suno does my theme songs based on. This is very interesting. I use Grok to help me write the lyrics. Then I take those lyrics and I read them and I go, yeah, that doesn't work. And I rewrite some of the lyrics, but by and large, they're Grok generated. I take those into Suno and say, I want a song in a jazz style with this style voice and da 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 da. And I get the theme song that I want, and boom. And I never have to worry about copyright. So bitch at me all you want about supporting AI. Get your shit together with the whole copyright system, and this will no longer be a problem. Because I'm telling you, the music that I use for the promo for Live from Sparkwind 21, absolutely copyright free, and I keep getting hit with copyright claims because this platform is dumb as absolute F. Why? Because their platform is using AI to listen and say, oh, that's somebody else's material. Yes, it is. Now go to that channel and see that they allow you to use this, and I have done what they've said, remove the copyright claim, and it takes time for that to happen, and I receive no finances from that whole damn stream because I use that song in my promo. It's getting effing ridiculous. So I wasn't going to go through that crap when I got to Doctor Who. I said to Grok, I need you to help me to write a prompt that I can share with Suno so that I can create something similar to the Doctor Who theme. Can you describe the Doctor Who theme in a way that Suno would understand? And it said some very technical musical things that I barely understood. And I took that and I brought it to Suno and said, create for me a tune using this criteria. And I got the theme that you hear in my promos for Doctor Who. And I'm like, holy crap. That really does evoke for a Doctor Who fan, the Doctor Who theme without being the Doctor Who theme. And there's no way it can be copywritten. So boom, done. Thank you very much. Same thing happened. Very exact same story for the theme for the Sherlock Holmes promo. I said, can you describe the Granada Productions of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes theme in a way that Suno could make something similar? And I ended up with a really good theme. It really is good.
Mm-hmm.
So after I create these AI theme songs for my various shows with vocals, I then go to another AI program and strip out the vocals to turn into like a karaoke backing track, and that's what I use for my closing credits for most of my streams. So, yes, AI is a great equalizer. It allows us to do things that we couldn't do. I'm going to highly recommend to all of you. I'm sure everybody that's watching me right now has heard of Mythbusters, right? The show Mythbusters. Well, Tori Valachi and Cammie Byron, who were, members of the Mythbusters team, have started a YouTube channel, and they are called the Mythfits. And they talk about their time on Mythbusters and so on and so forth. Well, the most recent one blew me away. They did an interview with a very special guest, Thomas Dolby.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Thomas Dolby of Dolby Sound, Dolby Noise Reduction. Not to mention Blinded Me with Science. Right. That was their hook to why they had him on. They had used Blinded Me with Science for one of their promos for one of their episodes. Okay. And Tori Valachi was like, why couldn't we use that as our theme song? It was so much better than the theme tune that we had. And it was obviously a monetary thing. And Thomas Dolby, was after he told that story, he was like, they used Blinded Me with Science for the theme song of the pilot episode of The Big Bang Theory. And then once it got picked up, it had its own theme song. And so I only got royalties for showings of the pilot episode. After that, nothing. It's like if they had picked it up for the entire run of the show, well, I probably wouldn't be here right now, which I thought was funny. But that's a real deep dive joke for him, because fans of his know he is very independently wealthy. He's not some kind of one-hit wonder that did Blinded Me with Science and that was it. He holds the patents on Dolby Noise Reduction, Dolby Sound, all of these sound editing programs and systems that are still used to this day that he receives royalties for all the time. Plus, he hasn't stopped working since then. He is now a music teacher at a conservatory. So he is like hard line, like Mr. Music. And they were asking him his opinion of AI right now. And he says, my opinion is probably very different from most people's. He said, I obviously have a strong affinity for technology. Going back to, the days of mixing and editing and so forth, I was like, what can I do with this technology? And you hear it in the music that I produced. He said, but right now, he says, I'm working on a symphony. I was like blown away by that. It's called Requiem for the 80s. He said, and I used AI to do research that would have taken me months to do, and it was able to do it like that. I said, can you find for me, for example, all the pop songs of the 80s that either had rain in the title or as one of the lyrics? And it came back with things like, Annie Lennox, Here Comes the Rain Again, Prince, Purple Rain, etc., etc. He said, but it brought back like a Police song off their Synchronicity album that had a line about, rain that I would never have thought of. and then I take all of that and I'm like, okay, AI, from this list, can you give me all the ones that are in this key with this tempo? He said, for example, I had no idea until I started crunching this data using AI. And I may get this wrong, but he said, Sledgehammer and Running Up That Hill are both in the key of E minor with the same tempo. He's like, I never would have guessed that. He's like, I can work with that, because he's doing a composition where he is combining songs of the 80s. There's another group out there that did like a comedy type song called like Four Chords. And it said with 4 chords, you could do Let It Be, and you could do this song, and you could do this song, and you could do this song, and this song, and all these different popular songs. And it's like, holy crap, that's pretty cool. And a lot of comedians that are musicians have done this, and played off of that same riff. But yeah, using AI for research, for whatever. And then, so yeah, again, you have someone of the caliber of Thomas Dolby saying exactly the same thing I've been saying. It's another technological tool. How do you use it? You can use it and you can make slop, or you can use it to make something no one has ever heard before, and it could be a masterpiece. It is a tool. And Cammie Byron said something that was quite brilliant. She says it's no different from a hammer. A hammer can be used as a tool to build a house, or you could murder someone with it. It depends on who wields it. Boom. Anyway, go check out Mythbusters on YouTube. It's definitely worth checking out. Not just that video, but that video alone would be worth going to their channel. We'll go check out all the other stuff they've done too.
And here we have our last...
Reserved seats for AI. How awesome is that? Look at that, deleted scenes.
Yes, our last story of the night, you sent me to this. You sent this to me.
I'm sorry, it was last minute. After he'd already gotten all the notes together.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, Mark Melnikoff sent me this. Do you want this for Sunday or do you want this for tonight? I'm like, whatever you want. He's like, fine, I'll put it in for tonight.
Yes, AMC Theaters.
You test driving bastard, you.
Okay, AMC Theaters will refuse to screen AI short film after online uproar. You hear that? When will AI movies start showing up in theaters nationwide? It was supposed to be next month. But when word leaked out that an AI short film contest winner was going to start screening before the feature presentation at AMC Theaters, the cinema chain decided not to run the content. The issue began earlier this week when the inaugural Frame Forward AI Animated Film Festival announced Igor Alfarov's short film Thanksgiving Day had won the contest. The prize package.
No, I'm sorry. I want to give proper attribution. My apologies. It wasn't Mark. It was Geek Flag with Nate Knows. Both of those names appear as regular contributors on every Geeky Geezers stream, but sometimes I do forget, so I apologize.
Anyway, short film Thanksgiving Day had won the contest. The prize package included Thanksgiving Day getting a national 2-week run in theaters nationwide. When word of this began hitting social media, however, some were dismayed by the prospect of exhibitors embracing AI content, with many singling out AMC Theaters for criticism. Except the short is not actually programmed by exhibitors exactly, but by Screen Vision Media, a third-party company which manages the 20-minute advertising-driven pre-show before the theater's lights go down. Screen Vision, which co-organized the festival along with Modern Uprising Studios, provides content to multiple theater chains, not just AMC. After the Hollywood Reporter reached out to AMC about the brewing controversy, the company issued a statement on THR on Thursday. This content is an initiative from Screen Vision Media, which manages pre-show advertising for several movie theater chains in the United States and runs in fewer than 30% of AMC's U.S. locations. AMC was not involved in the creation of the content or the initiative and has informed Screen Vision AMC locations will not participate. It is not yet clear if other theatrical chains will screen the short instead. Screen Vision Media has no immediate content, but for the Frame Forward AI Animated Film Festival issued a statement from co-organizer MSU's president and studio head Joel Rudman. The national theatrical run, while truncated, is only an initial exposure for the winning film, he said. The film will be adapted for less massive immersive theatrical venues, the first of which will be built in New York within this year. Shared theatrical experiences are an important cultural bond. The traditional theatrical chains are vital to our cohesion as a society and are duly cautious about AI. However, the media landscape is changing and evolving rapidly. They may be prudent, but it is important to MUS immersive that new and exciting films, filmmakers, cinematic language, and spaces for these shared experiences continue to develop. We will bring new content and important existing content to our developing venue network of venues starting in New York. We will not see the theatrical window wither on our watch. The film wouldn't represent the first time AI content is played in theaters. A collection of film festival AI shorts from Runway's 2025 AI Film Festival played in 10 IMAX theaters in August. But this would likely be the first time the narrative AI film received nationwide exposure in cinemas rather than specialty screenings, and could represent another step in the groundbreaking technology marching into traditional Hollywood spaces. What do you think?
So here's what I'm going to say. I first want to start with what Nate's saying. I think this is stupid not showing a short because it's AI. It's no different from animated, hand-drawn, or CGI short. Again, yeah, it's just the tool. Again, this is like, and this is apocryphal. I don't believe this ever actually happened. The idea of automation. Taking a bunch of jobs, so a bunch of people throwing wooden shoes into a machine to, protest losing their jobs. Wooden shoes named sabotage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's historically accurate, but the concept is still there because we have always had people that lose their jobs due to automation.
It took our jobs.
There was a bunch of workers back in the 1800s who lost their jobs picking cotton because of an invention called the cotton gin. That was so terrible, right? Actually, I could actually do a whole stream about how the cotton gin actually led to directly the Civil War. But be that as it may, these things do happen. But it is not. That's what this is. This is not the theaters deciding they don't want to do this. The theaters don't give a flying fig. All they care about is getting butts in seats and making money. And again, I've argued it is not the audiences. The audiences will show up if they want to see the thing. The problem here is, industrial political pressure being put on them by Hollywood and the guilds and all this kind of stuff. It is the equivalent of throwing your wooden shoes into a machine trying to save your jobs. You can do it. You might be able to postpone it a little bit, but inevitably, this is not something you can maintain. You can't keep this cat in the bag, so to speak. Just saying.
But you can drown the cat in the bag. Oh, wait. Never mind.
I don't think that analogy applies here. You can't drown this. It will survive. It is out there.
Oh no, man! There are gonna be people out there. They're gonna be going into data centers and pouring water all over everything. It's gonna happen. Actually, I don't know if that would work either.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that, my friends. Yeah, give it a try.
Look at that. Look, this is Troy's future evil AI.
yeah, it's going to be my avatar.
Ah.
Anyway, you don't like that, Netter?
No, I'll pass. Thanks.
Okay. Anyway, you want to see the outtakes?
Yeah, let's see the
AI. Oh yeah, the AI adventure continues. No, that Star Trek used to do. The human adventure continues.
Right.
But it's no longer about humans. It's all about AI. Anyway. So let's see here. Outtakes.
Hmm.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I could have seen you using that one. Sure.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why it made this. That's just freaky. It's like a
that strikes as like a Deadpool kind of a homage kind of thing.
Maybe.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know what
okay, now this looks like something Disney would do for the Acolyte or something like that.
It's the problem. AI is learning from all the bad stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly right.
These are more evil AIs. I don't know. It's all
Sure.
right. Okay, whatever. Let's move on. I just use the look. He's angry. See?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
okay, now this no longer looks like a robot. This looks like, the Green Goblin or something like that.
Okay, moving on to. Okay. It's another. Okay, we're getting redundant here, I think. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on to. This is when I started putting in the wedding thing. I don't know what this is supposed to be.
I don't see a robot here. Yeah.
No, I don't know what that was supposed to be, unless that's supposed to be on the altar there, or whatever that is supposed to be.
But I mean, that was a great. Okay, now that one's pretty good.
Yeah, see that one looked too. I didn't like. You know why I didn't use this?
Huh.
Robot's not wearing a tux. You wear a tux to your wedding. What's wrong with you?
Actually, he's naked. I'm gonna get this stream taken down because of that. There you go. He's wearing a tux.
No, it looks like a motorcycle helmet. I didn't like.
Yeah, it looks like Devo, right?
Don't like that. No, let's move on to. I don't know what that. I think that was for stock market crash.
Sure.
Say what it was doing. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, this looks more like Fallout than anything.
Yeah, that's more of the typical
That actually would have been a perfectly good stock market crash.
I wanted the weird picture instead. I'm sorry, but I almost went with this and was like, no, we're going with the weird voices screaming because it's too weird. That's more of the the AI religion one. Yeah, see,
I like that one too. That actually looks very realistic.
There's another
that
one?
one, not so much. Yeah.
Okay. And that's another one.
Yeah. If you told me that was real, I would have probably believed you. Yeah.
Okay. More evil Donald.
It doesn't look like a robot though. It looks like a real Donald.
I think his
Duck
hand.
if
you look at his hand.
Well, that could be gauntlets.
I don't know what that is. Okay. That's another one.
Okay, it looks like a cyborg.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Let's move on to.
Oh my God! No, not even. Not
like
even.
That's like Rubber Ducky. You're the one.
Rubber Ducky, come to kill you. Yeah, exactly.
That's the other Tom Cruise.
That's not bad. It's just that it's in the woods rather than on top.
That's
of
why I
the
didn't use it. Because at least the
it,
building, even though it's cloudy in the actual video, I figured at least in the sun setting, it's closer, so I used that one. And the reason I do the outtakes is I figured I don't want to throw these out because the machines work on them. This is the stupid. I put in Native American
if
boy,
the kid
white
was,
horse.
Yeah, if the kid was
Doesn't even
dressed
look
in Atreyu's outfit, I'd say you were good. But that's too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's overly
that's
Native American. Yeah.
And this is probably closer. I probably could have used this, but oh well.
Probably, yeah.
I was just like, it looks like a girl though. I said boy.
Oh well, I don't think if we have SCOTUSes who don't know the difference between men and women, your AI is not going to know the difference between men.
That one wasn't bad. I almost used that one for the disaster movie thing.
That's a little too 9/11 though.
That's why I didn't go with. Well, no, in the video that was made, there were planes crashing in the buildings and things.
Oh, gotcha.
It's some kind of geo storm thing, or I don't know, some kind of storm thing going on in the background. It's another one. So
yeah.
Okay, moving on to that's for the music one. I don't know what that was supposed to be. A sound.
That's pretty cool, actually, though. Yeah,
that's why I left it in there. I did robot bands. I thought these were too cheap.
That is pretty cool. I like that. I would have liked it better if Robert Palmer was in the foreground, but it's fine the way it is.
Oh, dude, someone should remake that and have robots in the background instead of the women.
Yes,
that would have been kind of funny. There we go, and that's another robot band.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, they came out better than the last ones, and that's
I think all of these are like pretty spot on. I like them.
They're not bad. I went with the robot using the looks like the turntable or whatever to make the music, and that's like a metal band or something. See, look at that.
Yeah.
I guess literally a metal band if it's a robot, right?
I see.
Just saying, yeah. And I don't know what this is, but I just thought it was interesting, so I threw it on there. I don't know why it came up with this.
Pretty cool. Abstract art.
Abstract art. There you go.
Hanging on the wall in an office building or something.
That's how AI see music.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, that's it. That's all she wrote.
That's it. All right.
That's all the AI wrote.
that is our AI talk for tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I am going to get back into the wasteland and start killing some synths and robots. And any last thoughts? Any last words, Boomer, before we shut this whole thing down?
Hollywood, start making better movies because anyone can make.
I don't care what tool you use; just start making better films. You know, I mean, if you did that, you wouldn't have to worry about AI. That's all I'm saying. But,
yes. And that'll be it for now. And I guess, yeah, that's my thoughts. Just start. Hollywood needs to start paying attention because they're not winning friends and influencing people right now.
They sure aren't. Netter, any last thoughts? Any last words before we wrap it up for tonight?
Yes, of course. Since Troy's going into the wasteland, that means that he probably won't be finished until about 4 a.m.
It's going to be very interesting because I've had a lot to drink tonight, and I'm not entirely certain how I'm going to manage this. Netter was saying earlier, well, you could just, just do God mode. I am not sure I could even type the command to get into God mode. I'm afraid I'm going to end up in the Brawlfringar mode, and I don't know what that's going to do.
I also want to thank everyone who gave super chats, super stickers, and gifties. You guys are awesome.
Geek Flad with Nate Knows, who just dropped a $2 super chat to say, Troy, get some sleep. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so you guys really are Osmo. We appreciate you so very much. You guys are the reason that we do this. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to us prattle on about all this. But yeah, I thought it was really fun and interesting, and hopefully you guys did too. And I'm sure we'll have more of this in the future about AIs and whatever those are up to.
Actually, Boomer, we should probably tell them what we got planned for next week.
It's gonna be mean and green.
It is. My drink, whatever it is probably going to be green, and we're gonna play the sad walking away music.
Yes.
We are going to be talking the Incredible Hulk, and we're planning a very special guest. I'm not positive because something could always come up, but I'm expecting a very special guest next week. That's why we didn't have this topic this week. But and we're not just talking like the Incredible Hulk, Bill Bixby, and that's it. We'll be talking about the whole history of the Incredible Hulk. Mm-hmm. And Nate says for another $2. Thank you so much, Nate. Super appreciate you. Thank you guys for doing what you do. Thank you for being our enabler so much. And with that, I'm going to say thank you in general to everybody. You guys, everything you do to encourage me really is wonderful. Coming in, contributing in the chats, hitting that like button, sharing it out to other people. The financial contribution is just above and beyond, and it really is what allows me to justify being able to continue to bring this content to you. So thank you so much for that. And so until next time, which I suppose is tomorrow night on Netter's Network with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Uka Chaka. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Hail hydration. Drink responsibly. And we'll see you all on the next one. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Where are those? There it is.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading. Closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, our feelings they unfurl. A tapestry of whispers in this corner of the world. The jukebox serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near. But in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, for me and you. Let's toast to the night.